What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Strong Family Money Show. My name's Andres. Thanks for stopping by again. It's Saturday, September 12th. So, I've been researching a lot online about millionaires and how they make their money and stuff like that. So, I found, a big list of people who made a lot of money and the overarching story of how they all came to be millionaires is, of course, they had a dream, right? They wanted to become a millionaire. They had something that they could sell other people, something that other people would buy, something that most importantly, the people needed. And but what they also had was they sat down and they made a plan, which is probably the most important thing. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So they all they all sat down, right? They all made a plan of how they were going to attack, putting their plan into action, right? Or putting their dream into action, I guess. How long will it take? What do I need? What resources do I have? So I have an outline here on, the basic things that they went through to make sure that they had all they needed to reach their goal, and what they did. So first they have to know how much capital they have in the beginning, and a lot of these people bootstrap their companies, so they're using their own money or maybe even friends and family money to start this endeavor. But they have to know exactly in the beginning what they have to work with, and a lot of successful ones, they pretty much bet the farm on everything. So they say, this is really, this is all I have, and I'm going to use all of this to reach my goal. Some of them say, I got a family to feed, so I really only have this much money to start up my business. Or when they ask their friends and family, this is all I could collect. So they know exactly in the beginning how much money they have, so they know what their stopping point is, or when they're getting close to the end, or when they have to go look for more money, they know what that is. What they also have is a budget. So they, a lot of these people, either they have another job and they work on this as a side hustle, or they took no salary at all in the beginning. So that really isn't a budgetary issue, but they have to spend on product and prototypes and help, other programmers or manufacturing. So they have to know exactly how much they're going to spend on all that, so they can get the most out of their money. And a lot of people hire a lot of help to help them achieve this goal, or they figure out what exactly they don't know and learn it, right? So if it's something easy, like I needed to learn how to prototype something, I need to know how to use a couple of machines in the machine shop to make my prototype. Or do I need to learn how to code, or do I need to improve my baking if I'm going to do like a food service? So they sit down and they figure out what they need to learn to, because at the end they don't have to pay anybody to do it. If they learn it on their own, that's money that they save, not having to hire somebody to do that for them. And some of them may say, I have this money, right? How can I use this money to make more? What can I do to leverage what I got, right? So if they don't want to go out and dilute their money by asking other people to pay, and as far as ownership goes, they can say, I have this, how can I grow it, or how can I use it to get more? So they learn how to leverage all the resources, not only money, but resources that they have, to get the most out of them, so that they can, perform the most work. And a lot of times, I listen to a lot of podcasts that they're entrepreneurially themed. So a lot of venture capitalists kind of are discouraged from giving money to people who are the only ones that are working on the company or product. So they really want someone that would go out and get a second founder, someone that they can work with. And a lot of times they want you to look for somebody who has the skills that you don't. So, I mean, if you go and say, I'm the only dude that's working on this and I'm going to learn everything I need to learn, right? A lot of times they fail to capture the money because they want someone that can go from the start to start working on the problem or the issue or the product. So they really encourage people to have a partner that can complement them so that they can then again leverage time to get more done. So being the only guy, even if it's a cool thing to say, and I'm the only one who's run this company from the beginning, a lot of times that may be a detriment to other things. And getting someone who you can say at the same level as you in the structure of the company will help you get places a lot faster and get a lot more done. And number 7, you can argue that this probably should be number 1, is they go out and they find out who has the money that they want to make, right? So they have an idea that they want to bring to market, but then they say, well, who are we going to sell this idea to? Who's this product really made for? So they spend a lot of time coming up with the perfect customer so they can go out and find people of that type, so they can go out and say, hey, you want to buy one, or you really look like you're interested in it, you want to give them a company some money because you really like this kind of thing. So and they spend a lot of time refining who that person is, who this avatar is that they're gonna sell to. So all in all, the most important thing that they have is a plan, and they really they sit down and they write this thing out, and they go over it multiple times, and they edit it a lot, so because they want to make sure they have the right plan to execute. And it's really like a roadmap in the end. So you don't, thinking on your feet is cool and all, but if you can eliminate that as much as you can, then that really helps you. Just all you have to do is execute and not do a lot of planning or thinking of ways to fix issues that arise along the way. And once you start executing the plan, everything's great on paper. The next step that's really important is to know how to revise the plan that you made based on what is happening around you. So if you had a couple of speed bumps or some roadblocks, it's important to be able to sit down and say, okay, now I thought it was going to be a piece of cake going forward, but we have these things, right? We need these licenses, right? This government body is not giving me a hard time. What do I need to do to get around them? Or the way I wanted to make this product really isn't cost effective, so what can I do to not sacrifice quality but be able to make it at a cheaper price? So you're always you don't want to die, your company needs to die because you're afraid to sit down and revise your plan. You want to be able to sit down and not really shoot from the hip, or fly by the seat of your pants, or whatever saying you want to say. But if you want to be able to sit down and say, okay, this plan was good up until this point, we're stuck here, the end goal is still the same, but what do I got to change to make it so that this plan is still executable? So a lot of people think you got to have a bunch of money, or you got to have connections, or you got to have a bunch of other things, and all those are good things to have, and if you can get them, great, and if you have all of them, that's awesome. But the most important thing is to sit down and you have a plan to execute, so that you can like I said, not spend all your time making decisions, right? Because that takes time, because not only do you have to make a decision, but then you have to do the work from that decision. If you get a lot of that stuff done up front, then all you have to do is just put your nose to the grindstone and just work on making your company what you want it to be. So that's what I've found when my research of millionaires, and there's no reason for and it's hard work, right? It's not easy, not a slam dunk. There's a lot of stuff that isn't glamorous that goes along, right? It's like you can become an overnight success after years and years of hard work. Um, but yeah, there's no reason if we all sit down and make a plan and stick to it and sacrifice and put up with as much suck as we can, that we can all be millionaires as well. So anyway, sit down, make a plan, follow through, revise it, execute it. Thanks for listening. This is Andres from the Strong Family Money Show, and I will talk to you guys next time.